Well, hello there. So, you may have noticed that I have changed backgrounds. I changed where I film because I was fed up of filming at the top of the stairs because that's just inconvenient, having to set everything up. Even though I have had to set everything up here in my bedroom, it's just easier. And I've got a pretty background. It's a lot nicer than just like a window or a plain wall. It's just nicer, I think. So, do a little room tour. Shelf, TV, trans flag, done. Anyway, so this video I thought I'd do because I know that not many people are as educated as I would like them to be about being transgender and LGBT community and stuff like that. I just think that people could be more educated, so that includes my peers, people from school, just anyone that follows me really. If you don't really know much about being trans or being part of the LGBT community, then I think this is a good video, especially because it's from someone you know and it's not from someone who's quite famous, I should say, and because it resonates close to me rather than someone that you may not be close with or know necessarily. Okay, so if you didn't already know, don't know how you don't, but if you don't already know, I am transgender, female to male transgender, so I'll explain what that is. The definition, the dictionary definition of being transgender is, I've got it on a bit of paper, relating to a person whose sense of personal identity and gender does not correspond with their birth sex. So, in respect to me, I was born female, and now I identify as male. Not that hard. Pretty easy to understand. If you don't understand that, maybe research some more. So, I knew that I was trans. Well, I knew that I was a boy very early, when I was about maybe like 3-4 years old. I thought that I was a boy, I thought I was male, but I didn't know what that made me. I didn't know what I identified as. Obviously I thought I was a boy, but I didn't know what the term was, and I realised that I identified as trans when I was about 13, 14-ish. So yeah. So how you know you are trans, that is a good question, is that you don't just wake up one day and you don't just think, oh, I'm a boy. You don't just think that, it's not that. So, being trans, you experience something called dysphoria. Dysphoria, fun. Everyone loves a bit of that. Dysphoria is the hardest thing to live with, honestly. It is so hard. People who are trans, you will get me on this. It's so difficult. And this is where some people struggle to understand transgender people, because they just don't understand the struggles that they go through every single day battling dysphoria. So, I have another dictionary definition. Definition of dysphoria is a state of unease or general dissatisfaction with life. So, obviously, dysphoria is not just one thing. It's not being dissatisfied with your life. So you can there are basically two types of dysphoria: gender dysphoria and body dysphoria. And I think personally, that I'll probably make another video about this, but personally, you have to have at least one of the two to be transgender. If you don't, then jog on. I don't think you're trans. Tell it how it is. Anyway, so the first one, gender dysphoria. That's when you feel a disconnection between your birth gender and your brain. So, my birth gender is female, but I experience gender dysphoria when people call me she, people call me her, my birth name, etc. I feel gender dysphoria then, because I'm male, obviously, so I'm going to feel very uncomfortable if someone calls me the wrong thing. So, then body dysphoria is when you feel a disconnect with your body. So obviously, comparing it to me, I'm obviously a male, but I have a female body. which I was born with, unfortunately, and I feel very uncomfortable in it. It's body dysphoria is extremely hard, and yeah. So an argument is that you have to have both gender dysphoria and body dysphoria to be trans, but some people think that it's one. Some people think you don't even have to have dysphoria and it's just complicated, but I'll go into that in another video. I experienced both of these things, so I'm qualified to be trans. So, one way to combat body dysphoria is wearing binders. So, trans people often wear binders, and there are two main companies, GC2B and Underworks, and I have binders from both of these companies, and so a binder looks like this. Mine's a bit wrinkly, looks a bit like my nan, but yeah, that's what my Underworks binder, and I'm currently wearing my GC2B binder. So they bind differently, their companies are completely different, they use different materials, different everything really, and there's pros and cons of both. But yeah, you wear a binder to basically flatten your chest and to present as male. Some trans people don't bind, and that is quite controversial among people who are cis and don't know much about being trans, because they think that all trans people, all female to male trans people have to wear binders, otherwise they're not presenting as male, so how can they be trans? So that is very confusing. But some trans people don't wear binders due to health problems, just being uncomfortable. It's personal preference really, whatever you want to do to make yourself feel comfortable. And so now on to the future really. So if you're trans, usually you will get referred to from your doctors. You will go to your doctors and you will get them to refer you to the gender clinic. So I have done that. I've gone to the doctors and I have asked them to refer me to Tavistock and Portman, the gender identity clinic. So I am currently on the waiting list, and I've been on the waiting list since October 2017. That's so fun. And they have recently extended their waiting list to over 2 years. So that is so fresh and fun, and I love that because my dysphoria is just so bad and I've got to wait even longer. Great. So obviously I don't know much. I'm quite uneducated with the clinic since I'm not there yet. Thanks, clinic. And yeah, so maybe speak to someone who's actually at the clinic, but I'll tell you roughly. So you go to the clinic and you have 6 appointments, and they basically do an assessment of you, and they assess whether they just get to know you, they ask you questions about your dysphoria, how you're feeling about yourself, what you identify as, your plans, and then after that you kind of talk about your what you want to do with like hormones, stuff like that. So I'm pretty sure if you're under 16 you have to go on hormone blockers for a year because you're still undergoing puberty, and basically what hormone blockers do is they basically just stop the hormones, and they stop the hormones of your birth sex. So mine would be estrogen, but I've gone through puberty and I'm no longer going through puberty. So if I was under 16, then the hormone blockers would block the estrogen and basically withhold puberty until I went on hormones. But because I'm over 16, I obviously don't quote me on this because I'm not at the clinic, but because I'm over 16, I will get to the clinic and I will have the appointments, probably have more than people who are under 16, more of an assessment, and then they will probably talk about hormones. And the hormone that I would be taking is the male hormone male hormone testosterone, and that you can inject that. You usually inject it into your leg, in your thigh, or into your bum. So yeah, you can also get them as patches, and you put them on your arm, like here, And you can also get gel. You can get T-gel, so you spread it on your chest and it does the same job. And I'll probably talk about changes on testosterone in another video, or when I'm finally on testosterone, I'll do a video on that. But yeah, and after that, once you've been on testosterone, you can start thinking about top surgery. So there are different types of top surgery depending on your chest size. So top surgery is basically a surgery that removes the breasts. It's as simple as that, and I think that most people should know that anyway, even if you're not that educated. So there are 3 different types of surgery. So you can get double incision, where they do 2 incisions, and I'll demonstrate. So basically they cut underneath and underneath, and then they pull them together, and then they sew them, and yeah, that's it. And then you have peri, which is where they cut 2 circles and they take it all out and they pull it like a drawstring, and it just all goes into one around the nipple, and then there you go. You got your tits. Why did I say that so weird? Then you got keyhole, which I'm not very sure about, and I think they just do a little incision around your nipple, pull everything out and just sew it up. So obviously I did it in order of scars. So double incision, you have the most scarring. Peri, you have maybe a little bit of scarring around the nipple, and then keyhole, you have very, very little scarring. Also, you will have, as well as the lines from the scars, you will also have scars in your sides, because obviously you're getting sliced open, you're going to bleed everywhere, so they stick drains into your sides to collect the blood, and they stay in there for a while, and then you pull them out and blood goes everywhere. And yeah, so I will most likely be getting double incision. I will probably make a video on why I will want double incision and not peri. Even if I could qualify for peri, I don't think I'd want peri. I think every trans guy at the beginning initially wants peri, and then they think about it and they realise that they don't, because the results are not as good. And yeah, I'll go into it in another video. So yeah, and then you've got tits, man tits. So yeah. Then you can also get bottom surgery. Now, I'm not too sure about bottom surgery, like I'm not sure about the different types of bottom surgery, but I know you can get one with a skin graft and one that just uses the stuff that's down there, but I don't really want to go into detail, because it's the 2 main things are testosterone and estrogen supplements and top surgeries. So obviously I can't speak for male to female transgender people and their procedures, because I'm not one of them, so can't really talk. So if you want to learn about that, then maybe look someone up who is male to female, or if you have a friend who's male to female, speak to them about it. Okay, so now I'm going to do a trans quiz, even though I know I'm trans, so this quiz won't affect anything. I'm not gonna go back in the closet. I'm not gonna rush down to my mum and say, "Guess what, mum? The iPad says I'm not trans, so I'm not trans." Right, let's go. Do you feel you're male despite physically being female? Yes. If I were to tell you I think you're a very pretty girl/woman, would that annoy you? Yes, I'm a boy/man. Yes, I'm a girl/woman. Or no/yes, I just don't like being called pretty. Well, I like being called pretty, actually. I like being called a pretty boy, but yes, I'm a boy/man. Man. Do you present as male? Bathroom choice. Where's the yes option? There's just no yes option, but guess I can put sometimes. Would you ever consider taking hormone blockers to stop the development of female puberty? Yep. Female puberty. Yes. Would you ever consider taking testosterone? Yes, I do. Would you ever consider top surgery if you had the money? Yes. But why is it? Why is there? I'm so confused. Why is there a yes and a no? I'm so confused. Yes, I want to see male. Would you ever consider getting bottom surgery? My vagina doesn't really feel right. I want to feel male, and penises are male. That told you guys, penises are male. Yes. Actually, I'm going to put no. Only because of the surgery doesn't usually produce good results, but I don't want my vagina. What kind of name would you like to be called by? My name. Which of these labels do you think best describes you? Transgender. Excuse me. Which of these would be the worst for you? Living as a female. I am 80% transgender. Wow. Not 100%. Guess that means I have to go back in the closet, because obviously that means I do. If you want to find out if you're transgender, click the link down below. I'm really sorry. So guys, it is confirmed. I am transgender. No need to bring up that it's a girl balloons. No need to congratulate me for coming back in as female. Anyway, thank you for watching. I hope that this was kind of informative, and if it wasn't, then hope you enjoyed it anyway, and if you didn't do any of those things, then oh well. So, if you did like my video, give it a like, and if you're new, subscribe, share this video with your friends, tell your friends about me, tell them I am a real transgender, I am a real tranny, because I took the test. So, yeah. See you in the next one, greaseballs. I am transgender. Wow.